Have you ever imagined how the world will be after the effects of COVID 19? Or should I say, what will be the new normal look like post COVID 19? Well, I'm here to express some of my thoughts on it, and I hope you will be able to relate with me. The first thing as a student that comes in my mind is that coronavirus is hitting the economy so badly. Will anyone even hire me when I'll be needing the job? Hi, my name is Dipansh and I'm pursuing MBA from JIMS Rohini in Delhi. Firstly, there are a number of possible futures all depending on how the government and society respond to coronavirus and its economic aftermath. Hopefully, we will use the crisis to rebuild and produce something better and more humane. But there's a possibility we may slide into something worse. While browsing through the web, you all must have seen a lot of images through various articles showing how the world is going to look like post COVID 19 and what all things would be still affected by this virus. Well, I would just like to thank all the social workers and the warriors who are doing their level best to keep everyone safe, and even we all are trying our best to overcome this situation. And once we actually overcome, it is going to change a lot of things. For instance, social distancing. Yes, it is not going to leave us anytime soon. So we should brace ourselves up and get ready to live with this fact that the things are never going to be as they used to be. Well, we will have to maintain a social distance for a long time now, and it will be important to do our part in future to protect us on our own. Secondly, we all have been seeing in the news and other sources that due to improvements in air quality index, we are able to see places very far from us. For example, I came across this image of Mount Everest. It was taken 200 kilometers away from it in Kathmandu Valley, Nepal. But as you know, eventually everything will open and lockdown will be removed and everyone will get back on roads. And not to forget, because social distancing, where everyone will prefer using their own transport and vehicles than public transport, which then will create more pollution than it used to create before, creating a really big mess within our ecosystem. But now, coming on to the most critical topic, a fourth industry revolution, as the AI era is referred to, has already been experienced before the paramedic. With the background linkage of cloud computing and big data, however, the imperative of continued social distancing has made an AI driven economy world today's reality. Setting aside the oft discussed prophecy of the robo human tussle, even if we focus on the present paramedic context, we will see millions of students accessing their education through edtech apps, mothers buying groceries on app and making cashless payments through fintech platforms, and employees attending video conferences on relevant apps as well. All this isn't a new phenomena, but the scale at which they are happening is unparalleled in human history. The alternative universe of AI, machine learning, cloud computing, big data, 5G, automation is getting closer to us every day. And so is clash between humans in context to labor and robots in context to plants and machinery. As factories around the world starts to reboot post COVID-19, there will be hard realities to contend with shortage of migrant laborers in the entire gamut of the supply chain. Variation of social distancing introduced by the fear of second virus wakes and the overall health concerns of human at work. The fear of second virus wave and the overall health concerns of human at work, all this combined could end up sparking the fire of automation, resulting in subsequent job losses and possible reallocation reskilling of the human resources. The bottom 50% of the world in terms of income or education will be badly hurt with job displacements. The simple question to ask is how routine is a job? And this is how likely a job will be replaced by AI, because AI can, within the routine task, learn to optimize itself, and more quantitative, the more objective the job is. Separating things into bins, washing dishes, picking fruits, and answering customer services calls. Those are very scripted tasks that are repetitively and routine in nature. Infosys President Mohit Joshi, who at this year's Davos gathering, New York Times,
you know, the possibility of regulation, especially on the visa side. I know that you've been hiring significantly in the US. Are we likely to see you do more of that?
So we again, if when we met last time, we talked about this. If you look at our statistics now, last 12 months we've done about 1,800 recruits outside India and about 12,000 recruits within India.
Right.
So both of those are working really well. The regulations, while there's been no real change in the regulations, we are starting to build a model by recruiting in US universities and other places, which helps us to build a local workforce. And that's a commitment we built for those markets, and that continues on.
So, you know, you talked about the transformative deals as well, and I know that all of you are going after that market and that pie. So, is it likely to get more intense, and will that have an impact on margins?
So the intensity has always been high and it remains high. But what's also happened is we now see essentially maybe one or two players that we tend to see in those large transformative deals. Because what you need in those deals is first a very strong consulting capability, which we have, and a good capability in these digital areas, and a good capability on automation and artificial intelligence. Very few companies have all of that put together. So literally there's maybe one or two that we see on the really large transformative deals. And those deals, they are not deals where we have any impact on margin. If you look at our margin, the last 3 quarters is steadily increased.
Yes.
And we see reasonable comfort within our guidance for this year. We have no plans of changing that margin guidance, and we think we're comfortable driving that.
now they are saying, why can't we just do with 1% of the people we have? Whereas COVID-19 crisis has provided an opportunity to India's largest IT firm TCS to discard 20-year-old operating module and leapfrog into a new mode of work, whereas 75% of their employees to work from home by 2025.
Thank you, Nico. It's always good to connect with you. See, this is something which has been developing in many forms and shapes from 3 years ago. Actually, 3 years ago, we had set ourselves a bold vision of becoming 100% agile by 2020, and we are all set to achieving this goal. As a part of this initiative. We actually moved our people from ODCs to agile operating centers, and then encouraged and talked to our customers to go to open agile workspaces where people sit with each other. People sit with each other with different customers working for different customers, and it's more about identity-based security than perimeter-based security. So those learnings were very big for us, when we did this, and so moving from closed ODCs to agile operating centers to open agile workspaces, eventually now in this COVID environment, working remotely. So all those learnings which we had during that period actually came very, very handy at this time. And we were able to move more than 90%, actually, if I'm very close to 95% now, of our workforce working from home. Those learnings, which include, whether it's network bandwidth management or running state-of-the-art security operations centers internally to be able to make sure that we provide that comfort of high level of security even working in this environment.
That is why the World Economic Forum (WEF) argues that scalability and automation will be buzzword of the new era of business, and those who have these capabilities will be the winners. But there are losers in this too. In this case, the developing world would be the biggest loser. The problem of inequality, which has already reached epic proportions, could be for the worst one in an AI driven economic order. The need of R is to prepare ourselves and develop strategies that would migrate such risk. Worlds of computer science and entrepreneur Kai Fu Ling, the author of AI Superpowers, says,
You have been saying that AI is going to be bigger than electricity. Could you please explain that? That's quite a statement.
Yes, well, AI is going to be used in every industry, reducing costs, improving performance, and disrupting business models. We've already begun to see that in all kinds of areas, from finance to internet. Today's most powerful companies are rebranding themselves as AI companies, from IBM, Microsoft, Google to Facebook. And also because AI will have such a huge change over the whole industry, all industries, yet it will be much faster than electricity, because electricity took many decades and even a century to build out the electrical grid and all the applications. AI is running on the cloud now, so one could say it's arguably about as important and significant, but certainly a lot faster.
Thank you for being such a patient listener. Thank you.